have found a kernel of wheat. Now who will help me plant this wheat? Where is that lazy dog? Where is that lazy cat? Where is that lazy mouse?
Wait a minute. Hold everything. You can't tell your story here. We haven't even started yet.
Who are you? Will you help me plant the wheat?
I'm the disembodied voice of the narrator. And no, I can't help you plant the wheat. I'm a very busy guy trying to put this whole thing together. Now, why don't you just disappear for a few minutes? I'll call you when I need you.
But who will help me tell my story? Who will help me describe the wheat? Who will help me pronounce the wheat?
Listen, Hen, forget the wheat. Here comes the title! The Stinky Cheese Man and Other Fairly Stupid Tales by John Scieszka and Lane Smith. Adapted by Dylan Geislers. Dedication.
Here is welcome. När försöks on surpsul roasted it.
I know. That part was backwards. Whoever pays attention to that dedication stuff anyhow? If you really want to listen to it, you can always listen to it the other way around. A long time ago, people used to tell magical stories of wonder and enchantment. Those stories were called fairy tales. Those stories are not here. The stories told here are almost fairy tales, but not quite. The stories told here are fairly stupid tales. I mean, what else would you call a story like Goldilocks and the Three Elephants? This girl walking through the woods smells peanut porridge cooking. She decides to break into the elephant's house, eat the porridge, sit in the chairs, and sleep in the beds. But when she gets in the house, she can't climb up on baby elephant's chair because it's too big. She can't climb up on mama elephant's chair because it's much too big. And she can't climb up on papa elephant's chair because it's much, much too big. So she goes home. The end. And if you don't think that's fairly stupid, then you should hear The Other Frog Prince, or maybe The Stinky Cheese Man. In fact, you should definitely skip ahead and listen to those stories right now, because the rest of this introduction just kind of goes on and doesn't really say anything. I just thought I would talk and make it seem like I really knew what I was talking about. So stop now. I mean it. Quit listening. Skip forward. If you listen to this last sentence, it won't tell you anything. Sincerely, the narrator. Up the Hill, Fairy Tale Forest, 2011.
Warning! It has been determined that these tales are fairly stupid and probably dangerous to your health.
The Really Ugly Duckling. Once upon a time, there was a mother duck and a father duck who had 7 baby ducklings. 6 of them were regular-looking ducklings. The 7th was a really ugly duckling. Everyone used to say,
"What a nice-looking bunch of ducklings."
All except that one. Boy, he's really ugly. Oh my God.
The really ugly duckling heard these people, but he didn't care. He knew that one day he would probably grow up to be a swan and be bigger and look better than anything in the pond. Well, as it turned out, he was just a really ugly duckling, and he grew up to be just a really ugly duck. The end. The Tortoise and the Hare. H-A-I-R. Once upon a time, there was a tortoise who was very slow but very dependable. He would always get where he set out to go. It just took him longer than most people. One day, Rabbit saw Tortoise walking slowly but surely down the road.
Tortoise, you are so slow. I could probably grow hair faster than you run. Oh, yeah? Yeah.
So they decided to race. On the day of the big race, Tortoise and Rabbit lined up at the starting line. Just then, an owl swooped down.
On your mark, get set, grow!
Tortoise started to run. Rabbit started to grow his hair. Tortoise ran. Rabbit grew 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 his hair. Tortoise is still running. Rabbit is still growing his hair. Not the end.
I planted the wheat, I watered the wheat, I harvested the wheat. Now do I get to tell my story? What's going on here? Is it my turn? Where is that lazy dog? Where is that lazy cat? Where is that lazy mouse? How do they expect me to tell my whole story by myself? Where is that lazy narrator?
Forget that, hen. Now it's time for another great story. The Other Frog Prince. Once upon a time, there was a frog. One day, when he was sitting on his lily pad, he saw a beautiful princess sitting by the pond. He hopped in the water, swam over to her, and poked his head out of the weeds.
Pardon me, oh beautiful princess. I wonder if you could help me,
He said in his most sad and pathetic voice. The princess was about to jump up and run, but she felt sorry for the frog with the sad and pathetic voice.
What can I do to help you, little frog?
Well, I'm not really a frog, but a handsome prince who was turned into a frog by a wicked witch's spell. And the spell can only be broken by the kiss of a beautiful princess.
The princess thought about this for a second, then lifted the frog from the pond and kissed him.
I was just kidding.
Oh, ew!
The frog jumped back into the pond, and the princess wiped the frog slime off her lips. The end. The Stinky Cheese Man. Once upon a time, there was a little old woman and a little old man who lived together in a little old house. They were lonely. So the little old lady decided to make a man out of stinky cheese. She gave him a piece of bacon for a mouth and 2 olives for eyes and put him in the oven to cook. When she opened the oven to see if he was done, the smell knocked her back.
Phew! What is that terrible smell?
The Stinky Cheese Man hopped out of the oven and ran out the door.
Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the Stinky Cheese Man!
The little old lady and the little old man sniffed the air. I'm not really very hungry.
I'm not really all that lonely.
So they didn't chase the Stinky Cheese Man. The Stinky Cheese Man ran and ran until he met a cow eating grass in a field.
Wow! What's that awful smell?
I've run away from a little old lady and a little old man, and I can run away from you too, I can. Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the Stinky Cheese Man.
The cow gave another sniff.
I'll bet you could give someone 2 or 3 stomach aches. I think I'll just eat weeds.
So the cow didn't chase the Stinky Cheese Man either. The Stinky Cheese Man ran and ran until he met some kids playing outside school.
Gross! What's that nasty smell?
I've run away from a little old lady and a little old man and a cow, and I can run away from you too, I can. Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the Stinky Cheese Man.
A little boy looked up and sniffed the air.
If we catch him, our teacher will probably make us eat him. Let's get out of here.
So the kids didn't chase the Stinky Cheese Man either. By and by, the you-know-what came to a river with no bridge.
How will I ever cross this river? It's too big to jump, and if I try to swim across, I'll probably fall apart.
Just then, a sly fox, who shows up in a lot of stories like these, poked his head out of the bushes.
Why, just hop on my back and I'll carry you across, Stinky Cheese Man.
How do I know you won't eat me?
Trust me.
So the Stinky Cheese Man hopped on the fox's back. The fox swam to the middle of the river.
Oh man, what's that funky smell?
The fox coughed, gagged, and sneezed. And the Stinky Cheese Man flew off his back and into the river where he fell apart. The end.
I found the wheat. I planted the wheat. I grew the wheat. I harvested the wheat. I ground the wheat. I made the dough. I baked the bread. And did anyone help me? Did anyone save time for my story? So now, who thinks they're going to help me eat the bread?
Just then, a giant appeared out of nowhere. And then the giant ate the bread. And the chicken. The end.